Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Teams are hungry to get into Game 3, so we had a very short break. We got Game 3 between Gambit and Empire coming up. I'm Kyle. This is Lizard. We're going to see who wins Group B in just a moment. What do you think?
I think the third game is going to be amazing. Gambit, they did manage to adapt accordingly to that first loss. They picked two cores, they itemized them properly. We kind of thought that OD getting the Force and BKB was not going to be that great for him. However, he had a Duza by his side, and after all is said and done, they got those two BKBs, they just rushed into them. That Aegis fight, that rush fight was very crucial for them, taking down the whole team.
Okay, speaking of, like, look at how much time it took Empire to determine that Earth Spirit was going to be the pick. A full minute of their reserve time used for just the opener.
Yeah, because they didn't ban it. And they don't really want to give that Earth Spirit away to Gambit again, to Immersion. So they snatch it away from him. Say you can definitely play it.
Keep in mind, Enigma in the pool still as well. Oh, just kidding. I was the first ban.
No, Enigma is banned. However, Oracle is banned while Darkseer is in the pool.
True.
Which makes it very easy for Team Empire to snatch that combination of heroes and go dual offlane, wreak havoc.
Radiant team pick.
Alright, here we go. Vengeful is there. A little bit different.
It's a bit weird into a Wyvern, although it's not. It's cool because it's a method of, like, in theory, Wyvern plays well against Venge lineups because you're able to hit big ults, you can stop the physical damage that Venge lineups usually output, but you can just Wave of Terror into the trees. If you see the Wyvern, boom, he's swapped and he's dead. And that is the name of the game when it comes to Empire trying to take out Gambit.
Another thing is the fact that Oracle has been banned out, which opens up the bad pick. So I suppose Vengeful is already kind of forward-thinking against that hero, although they could have snatched it themselves. Interesting that we don't see a Darkseer picked earlier for Team Empire. I'm certain Madden plays it. Winter Wyvern, all right. Who's going to be the second hero for Gambit?
Game 3 is always a lot of fun because it's, you know, the meta's kind of disappeared. Now it's about this series. And it's a question of, okay, well, what heroes should we value more based on how we and our enemies have played them? Are there any heroes that haven't been shown yet that we could potentially utilize as a counter pick to something we can bait the enemy into taking? Because they already have in this series. A lot more mind games in the third game. You can tell just based on how much reserve time has been used by these teams. What was 2 minutes each as we entered that second banning phase. Now both are flirting with 1 minute remaining.
And remember how much self-confidence they had in that first few games, in the first 2 games. They were picking like in a matter of 15 seconds every single pick. They had all the reserve time. OD is picked up.
Bit earlier. I mean, last game was the 10th pick. This game, it's 4th.
I think the reason is that Prophet is still in the pool, and you won just versus it with OD, so maybe that's why. Nyx has also been banned out by Team Empire, another good counter. There are still Puck and Pugna in the pool that could work really well versus the OD. They haven't banned either one. They banned out the Nyx instead. And they banned out the Jug. They banned out basically these built-in BKB carriers, Nyx with the Rage, Jug with the Spin. Heroes that are kind of alright versus the OD. At the same time, the lane counters haven't really been touched.
And notably the Sniper.
Sniper as well, exactly. However, Gambit are the ones that played Sniper before, so I'm not certain. Sniper is, like, you know what? That yesterday's game with Sniper was all about team coordination and how they played, how they set up the perimeter, how they protected their tier 1s, prolonged the game, played around that Sniper so efficiently. I'm not certain that any team can do that. It's not really a strategy that you can just copy-paste and play without practice.
That's a good point. It's also a weird core if a player isn't confident on it, not just with like how to use your buttons, but what items do I buy, how do I position, when should I be getting engaged in fights, what's my power spike. You know, Dota's become a lot more complicated and strategy-based as it ages, and a lot more of the game is now predicated upon individuals' understanding of their role within the team, and also then the team's understanding of what does this hero do for me, and what will this player bring to my game. Do I need to be greedy? Do I need to be unselfish? What's my move here?
Speaking of specific players, you have Kodos on Empire, and he's all about these cheese high skill cap heroes, right? Like I don't see him playing Sniper that well.
Yeah. I like the bat pick here. It's a BKB piercing disable for the OD, which removes what you could argue is that hero's strongest power spike. In addition, you have the Venge, like you said, as sort of a deny pick in a sense now, with Oracle already out of the pool. Weaver banned, thanks to Gambit taking out both Jug and Lifestealer. There's very few heroes left
Abaddon.
that really deal with this bat.
Abaddon would be a sick
Abaddon's
pickup.
pretty nice here.
But at the same time, then you're rolling what, a position 4 Wyvern or position 4 Abaddon, which isn't really that optimal.
I hate when you have,
have
zero
no
stuns.
stuns
Yeah, zero stuns
already.
in your supports just,
Yeah.
oh, it feels bad, man.
If they didn't have this Wyvern, then perhaps. But like this, it's a hard hero to pull off in this lineup. It's really good versus Bat, however.
Maybe a Tide Hunter here? Oh my goodness, actually, this is an insane Tide game. You don't want to take it third, but a fourth pick Tide for Gambit is nuts. You are so good against Venge, Earth Spirit, and Bat. There's like nothing these heroes can do to touch you. Gives you team fight dominance against 3 very high single target damage output heroes. In addition, you look at their team fight on Gambit if they were to have those 3 huge ultimates.
And it's definitely an afterlife hero that he can play. Another hero that's so good in this game right now is Legion Commander for him.
Yeah, I could see that as well. It depends. I
Versus
feel like
the
Gambit's more of the squad, I think, that likes to double down on their team fight versus their individual offlane playmaking.
Oh, Phoenix.
That's
yeah,
cool.
there you go. That's the double down on the team fight for sure. You have the 2 birds. You have the Ice Bird. You have the Fiery Bird.
Yeah, this is a great combination. We saw this used at the last TI8. It's double bird is the word. You just drop both ults protect one another, and God forbid you try and kill like an egg and then you get Wyvern ulted. By the time it stops, the Phoenix egg is going to be popped.
The only problem is
you're
you're not damaging them during that period of time. However, you're still benefiting as you're going to have that Outroll Devourer taking it away during the ult. So that's
Empire,
fine.
and since all those BKB carries are banned, there's limited options for Empire here. You definitely don't want to AM again.
Now it makes sense why they banned out the Jug and the Troll.
Yes,
they planned on the Phoenix pick for sure. And this Phoenix, like, he got nerfed a couple of times. The hero got nerfed, but it still can definitely work really well.
You know what would be sick as a 10th pick for Empire is a Tinker. You're talking about high skill cap flashy heroes for Dream Darling.
He does play it. Arc Warden.
All right, that is both the OD and the Phoenix counter. Tough to deal with the Wyvern, of course, but really nice with Bat. I think that hero is best utilized whenever you have a core that provides tons of single target damage with global mobility. And as soon as Arc Warden has that bots up, he can just literally make a clone, send it to a lane, Bat blinks in, all of a sudden that's a free kill. And yeah, easiest PL pick of Gambit's life.
Instantly. So good versus the Bat. Complete
So good
counter
versus
to
the
the
Arc
Arc
Warden.
Warden. I think I wouldn't be this is the thing, though. He counters both of these heroes in the laning stage as well. It's going to be versus the Bat Rider on the safe lane for sure. But at the same time, if they could have somehow put him versus the Arc Warden, he crushes that lane. Phantom Lancer is so strong versus Warden on mid.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, good.
Good pick, definitely.
center
A
ban.
good Phantom Lancer pickup overall. They have these 2 cores that can, like, if OD plays the same way he played that last game, like, you can rely on your Phantom Lancer to carry, and he can definitely carry in this game. You need something with the stun in the end, though. You need some form of initiation. Right now, you have none.
I still like Tide, personally. They have limited single target catch, but just because their draft would be so strong, I feel like so long as they can maintain a 50-50, at some point they'll get the fight around an objective and they just take the game from there.
Their lanes aren't great, as you said. I think that's Gambit's biggest issue right now. Phoenix is one of those heroes. If he's not a core, we'll see what they pick last, but if Phoenix is not a core, he's just so weak in the laning stage. It's a hero you can't really kill. I mean, you can, but it's hard, as long as he has that dive, right? At the same time, though, he offers little to nothing when it comes to harass until he's level 3 at least.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Team Empire also can go for something a little bit faster, some tempo. And the Legion. All right. Yeah, so this is something we called. It's a form of initiation as well. It's a form of dealing with the Bat Rider, another one. So this Bat Rider has to be.
I
It has
like
to be laned on one of these two lanes, and neither one is good.
because you look at all the single target on Empire. They're going to be tunnel visioning down one target. Now you have a double save, one of course with the cleanse mechanic attached. In addition, you have a massive team fight advantage, and really that single target disable is going to come in very handy. Not to mention if you land a Q on an Arc Warden with a clone, with an illusion, with some creeps, that's like 600 magical damage. That clears all that trash out of there ASAP. And
You may now
all
select
right,
your
This-
heroes.
I like it.
All right, so this is a side lane Arc Warden and the mid lane Storm Spirit. The issue that I see with these two picks is, again, it's not Empire that did it. It's not Gambit that did it, it's Empire. They picked two heroes that both need levels, both need time to come online, and I'm not so certain Gambit is going to let them do that.
There's not much, like, you look at the draft, you look at Arc Warden and Storm, you think, okay, how do these heroes complement each other? When do they want to
Exactly.
play together? What's the move?
Right?
It feels like if they get late enough into the game, sure, they will win. Storm is great as a hero concept against the individual heroes of the Gambit squad. It's specifically great against, like, the OD, against Phoenix, Wyvern. You find those heroes, you kill them, but
You need to get there, right?
it's the team around it. You can maybe kill one guy, but you're thinking these other four guys are going to be off in the jungle, like smoking or something.
Another problem that I see is the laning itself. Like you have this LC versus the Arc Warden. Your Flux does not work. You can just bridge it off every single time. Then on the other lane, you have the PL versus the Bat Rider. You can just doppelgang away from the sticky napalm. And then in the mid lane, I think it shouldn't be that hard for the OD. They're set up for success from the laning stage. Yeah, if it does go late game, if it does go super late game, Arc Warden is one of those heroes that's really hard to deal with, but they still have ways of catching him. And
It feels like, you think about these easy concepts that lead to wins, right? It's like which team will have an easier time finding pickoffs. Feels like that's going to be favoring Gambit. Which team's going to win team fights? That's also Gambit.
Gambit and lanes.
Yeah, which
also
team hits a
Gambit.
power spike earlier and has like this core that can grab this one or two items and immediately change the game? That's going to be PL with like a Yasha Diffusal. He's just going to start running at people. It's going to need to be an incredible Storm performance, straight up.
I
Like that-
expected that Arc Warden to be mid, and then they pick some tempo controller on their position 1. Some tempo control that goes safe lane. But instead, they go with a Storm, and they have two heroes that offer no tempo control. They have to itemize somehow. Arc Warden also relies a lot on levels. You need that level 10 as soon as possible for the cooldown reduction.
Yep.
And on safe lane, you usually do not get levels as fast as on mid. And there are ways, like you could perhaps go for the Necro build on Arc Warden to kind of come online a little bit faster to be the hero that creates space for your team. But Empire, this isn't what we've seen from them before. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yep. I'll say a double lane ward placed as well by Gambit. You think there's a bit of an emphasis on the mid line?
Are they smiley facing that?
Did they do it by accident or something, or are they just really happy that they can see the Storm?
They really want to see the Storm. That's the thing.
That's cool. I mean, certainly will nullify Immersion's game impact.
Yeah.
That could be the goal here. And when you think about it, OD versus Storm, if Storm can get like a kill, a bit of assistance, and sort of skate by that first couple of levels with a bit of a lead, he hits 6 first, all of a sudden Storm might be snowballing.
Yep.
So if you can prevent these Earth Spirit rotations, OD should have that 60-40, 70-30 ad in
Yep.
the lane, just thanks to the OP-ness of Astral in the lane.
One thing they don't have going for them on the side of Gambit is rotations. Like they're really limited when it comes to their supports and what they can offer in the ganking department. You have Winter Wyvern and the Phoenix. Like they offer nothing whatsoever when it comes to that.
The Hawk forced a skill doppel, but to be expected, he'd probably have to grab that anyway.
Oh, he still denies the range creep. AFO mistimed imprisonment there.
That's actually pretty big.
Yeah.
And Kodos so far has definitely demonstrated that he is an exceptional mid player. Definitely understands his matchups quite well. And he's going to try and get this Archer CS with the Q. Well done. The first couple waves are big for Storm, because if you get that bottle up fast, then you really don't get threatened anymore by the OD.
You can see the odds. They're definitely in Gambit's favor this time around, as everyone understands how this matchup works and that they've drafted themselves into a corner with two very greedy cores.
Now we'll see. I mean, we say this, but it's still an Arc Warden, and yeah, there is a PL, but At some point, Arc Warden just does so much damage. You'll have the Mjolnir buffs up. The PL will fall off. And the damage output for Gambit, okay, it's pretty high.
It's
they're
still
going to
high.
scale.
It's still high. They still scale fairly well.
Yeah.
Let's see, like, maybe if Empire take control of these lanes somehow, if they manage to outplay Gambit.
It just feels like if you look at the 3, 4, 5 of Empire, their first 3 heroes left to right, what in the hell do those heroes do in a team fight? Because it looks to me as if their spells just get cleansed or purged, and then that's it.
Yep.
You know, they don't actually offer anything as far as helping the squad. It's just a hope that they can snowball, and it's just going to be so difficult for Immersion to have the early game laning impact we've come to expect from him just because of these 2 wards middle.
He's actually, what he's doing is he's with his bat on the bottom lane, but they cannot pressure that PL, and I wonder if that's really the right decision for them to do or not. Because dual laning that PL, he's still gonna farm. He's still gonna have a blast on that. Perhaps tri-laning versus the Phoenix LC would have been a little bit better, at least, to try and control that lane completely. But then you're negating the XP of Dream.
Yeah, and as this gang goes in up top, LC is going to take a lot of damage. He might actually be able to kill Dream Darling off here. And yes, Immersion will get the first blood. In the meantime, Gambit is making a move on middle. Storm is dropping low. He might go down. Gets the Fairy Fire off. Could be enough. No, he will just barely survive. Once again, Kodos seems like we take it for granted at this point. He has these narrow escapes.
Yep.
Very well played. LC survives up top as well. Gambit making big plays on both ends of the map.
Yep. On the mid lane, Kodos does survive, but they take down the Arc Warden on that top lane, which is so important. Slowing that hero down.
It's a 2-on-3 as well.
Yeah, 2-on-3, and they get their carry, and they don't die. It's ridiculous.
Huh. And I like that.
It's so... This lane is very difficult for Arc Warden. You can already see it. LC is actually ahead in CS, and they've rotated Seiyu on top, and they had to get that Earth.
Good point. I think you were talking about putting Arc Warden mid, right?
Yep.
I feel like that could have been the better. It's not a favorable matchup by any means, but really nothing is against OD.
Yep.
And now instead you've given the Gambit lineup an easy 2-on-3 where they're just pressuring your carry. And even if your Arc Warden's free farming, so what? It's the XP disparity. He's got 2 heroes in his lane sharing that XP, and he wants 6 ASAP. They're going to roll in on the Phoenix, but already leap away from Immersion.
Should be fine.
Also, I've been talking about Immersion's Earth Spirit this whole game. He doesn't have that.
Seiyu.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do fin the kill on King R. Nice TP up from FNG. And this is the danger. We've seen NIP and PP do this time and time again, where when the enemy side safe lane tri-lanes, you go 2-on-3, you cause chaos, you fight. At about 4 minutes, the safe lane support rotates up after completely securing his carry's lane, and you have a 3-on-3 with an XP advantage.
Exactly, with experience advantage. Whenever you're tri-laning, you want to dominate that lane super hard. And the problem is, it's not only they're not dominating, they're losing this 3-on-2 scenario. And now, with the Winter Wyvern there, nah, you don't kill this Phoenix.
Afterlife?
Seiyu actually has to be careful here.
Whoa.
They're just sticking together, and because of that, Arc Warden does nothing with the Flux. And now Seiyu with that roll-in, he might fall. Let's see.
It is just nice job by SMG to tank that Spark Wraith just in case, but this is the downside of Venge Earth Spirit supports. These heroes kind of do the same thing. They're nice disable, but they don't provide much damage, and they'd prefer to be rotating versus stuck in a lane.
Yeah, you have these two
very
stuns.
weak laners. Kodos bound, nice. Only level 4.
Kodos doing 21 CS, 28 of OD, not too bad. Like he's done all right. He has been pressured a little bit on mid too. But what is Vengeful doing mid? That's my question now. You're giving Vengeful experience.
He has to. I don't believe Storm can lane mid anymore. That's
he can't. That's fine. But now you have the Arc Warden suffering even harder on the top lane.
Yeah, just feels like Gambit, they're going to have better team fight, better pick off, and so far, dominating this laning phase.
Look at this.
Oh my god, Arc Warden, is he just going to die?
He's dead. He's dead here, for sure. This isn't the lane
Say you could just watch. There's nothing you can do. It's level 4 versus level 2, level 3. This is not fair.
This is a dead lane already. This Arc Warden needs to bail. He needs to go somewhere else. But where can he go? There's no way he lanes against the Phantom Lancer. Mid, perhaps, versus the OD, but that's problematic. And that's what I said. This Vengeful rotating mid. Like, okay, you're going to get levels, but your Arc Warden is going to get nothing.
It does feel like while that does help out the Venge's game, even then, it's like he's just kind of catching creeps that come into tower. maybe a deny once every 3 waves. OD still free farming. Ooh, Kodos, be careful, buddy. That's a regen rune. He's got to make sure he stays out of sight of Afo Ninja. Nice ultimate from Afo Ninja. Pops off the regen rune of Kodos. That's going to be a free kill.
Immersion takes it with the burn damage, with the dot, but still, they get that kill. Did he use the regen? I believe so, right?
He did, yeah. He saw the regen and popped the ultimate in that like limbo time where he knows if he hasn't used it yet, then I don't care if I waste this because I'm now in sight and he will die
Guess
for
who's
sure.
that again?
Yeah.
I mean, this is Boots 2 Raid Bands Arc Warden.
Yep.
This is an Arc Warden that has lower net worth than the Roaming Phoenix, position 4. It's not a good place to be in.
This is not a good place to be indeed, especially if you're an Empire fan.
Yep.
Gambit, however, looking strong, definitely improving their play and their strategy as the tournament, or rather the series, developed.
I think this is a pure outdraft so far, at least. 7-0 completely reflects the laning stage. It was very difficult for Empire to set up their lanes properly.
It is somewhat to be expected, though. Empire, their draft requires them to just sack the early game, the mid game even, and play split for skirmishes, find pickoffs with the Bat, the Storm, the 2 single target supports. Downside is I just don't like Bat and Storm together. I feel like they kind of play the same way within the game. Neither are very high damage, they're very high catch. But when you have a hero like Arc Warden, especially when you're this far behind, sure, in a free game, it's excellent to have this bot's clone that's always threatening. But now he's just going to be playing catch-up for 20 minutes, and no one's actually be able to make plays except for the Seiyu Earth Spirit, who's still like level 3.
Rotating him mid to get some levels. This is such a difficult position to play in as an Arc Warden. He's bringing himself clarity so that he can farm all the time, but he's still level 4, maybe level 5 right now.
King R. Immersion is everywhere on this Phoenix, man.
Talking about, like I said, that Phoenix isn't really the best hero to rotate with, but he had a really good laning stage.
Look at the Spidey senses from Afo Ninja. He saw the Earth Spirit on the ward, was like, oh, this is suspicious, and Madden with the Invis rune pops the Firefly, but doesn't get the lasso off because of the Astral.
Really well played by Afo.
I'm going to get the top tower for his trouble as PL continues to pressure bottom as well.
This Phoenix is on fire right now. Like, he's done so much. Level 5, 8 minutes 30. I'm not even trying to make these puns, I swear. Like, he's 8 minutes 30 in. He has level 5. No tome even.
FNG cold-blooded.
Wow.
Taking that top tower, letting his LC get the last hit.
Good job.
Can you name the Pokemon that most resembles Winter Wyvern?
Please don't. Articuno. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Not
Damn, son, I got it.
Way to set my expectations low. LC, though, up top, he's going to land the duel. There's the bots in from Batrider, but will it be in time? Kodos, he's going to man up. Yes, he gets the Q off.
Man.
That'll land the kill. A worse player, perhaps somebody sitting in this very chair, would have turned around and tried to zip away and died. Instead, he gets the kill and survives. And now you've got Madden here. He's got the bots. FNG's out of mana. No stick, no hope.
Kodos and Clutch. Name a more iconic duo. Like, he's always making these plays, like blinking out with Yules when it looks very hard to do so. Surviving these mid lane ganks with with a sliver of HP in every single match of this series.
He is, regardless of how the series ends, I am on the Kodos train. He is one of a very select group of players that I have seen now multiple times make split-second decisions that are incredibly precise. Like, just the decision there to man up and get that kill. Like,
it separates.
No hesitation. Same with the blink out before. And you see that as we watch Batrider die in the duel with these top-tier players, with the Miracles, with who else is good? I was going to say like Arteezy, but
Sumail.
Yeah, that works. You know,
no one.
Yeah, where they make moves. Ramses is an example. Like they hold their rage, they hold their BKB only to use it at the perfect moment. That's all being a core is nowadays in Dota. Is just the proper usage of spells and abilities because your team's just doing everything they can in their power to ensure you're the one with the most net worth in game. What do you do with it? That's the question.
He's going for Hood, I believe, on PL.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah. Makes sense this game.
It's still 3K lead, though, for Gambit, rapidly approaching that 10-kill mark. They've got top tower, and you can see them just slightly
It's not
taking
a huge
over a
lead.
bit of the map.
It's not a huge lead on Empire. They managed to slow the game down a little bit so that the Arc Warden can recover a little bit. He needs to get that Midas as soon as possible.
I like this smoke, though. Sayu is here.
They're
As
gonna
is the Storm. They
go
got
on
Illusion
Arc.
Rune.
They're going to go on Arc Warden. Speaking of him,
They've got
and
Egg.
Oh, the clone is there, though.
Will it be enough? Storm's going to zip through. They're going to try and kill the Egg. They got to kill the Egg. Yes, they do. Now the LC should die as well.
Yeah.
Arc Warden shall survive. Man, talk about lack of EV. Gambit, you're making plays as 3 heroes up in the top lane.
It
in
was a
a
good
winning
smoke.
position.
It was a good smoke from Empire as well.
But they have no vision. It didn't even need to be a smoke. They could have just been sitting on the shrine. They're still going to be able to make that play. You can't dive tier 2 when you're winning by this hard.
They're winning so hard, and they're diving this Arc Warden who's basically 2.9k.
Yeah.
Like, he's lower than
He's the 4th
Phoenix.
position. Even if you kill him, you
yeah,
don't get
even if you
anything
kill
out
him,
of
you
it.
aren't getting a lot. So I understand trying to slow him down even further, but the cost effectiveness of that move was...
It just feels like if you're going to make this play, if you want to get aggressive, you should be moving. The top tower is dead. Just go beeline for mid. Play around that OD. Have Wyvern in position.
Get the tier 1
You're at the very
as well
least going to
here.
have 4 heroes.
Yeah, get the tier 1. It's a better objective. You can take down the woods. You can pressure the Arc Warden even further back into his own side of the map. And it's one of the problems with Phoenix too. Like, until you're level 12, anything kills your egg. Even that one clone was enough.
And another play, Arcane Rune on Kodos. He will find a Merchant. Nice script. That'll interrupt the dive. Sayu with the stun. He's going to get a Purge off. Will it be enough is the question. I do not believe so, as that is, of course, an Arcane Rune. Kodos, of course, going to go for the Kaya, which I like a lot more in this game when you consider how much mana loss he has to be worried about when you consider OD and PL in this game. He TP's bottom to get the Shrine. Nice efficiency.
It looks like Gambit just threw it a little bit, like all their advantage. It's not out of control, it's not out of their hand, but at the same time, this game could have been much, much easier for them.
It's just like the way that they played, I feel like they kind of lost track of their strengths in that 10 to 13 minute mark. They're making plays around top instead of mid, but you have a Hood on PL, and he's continuously playing the safest areas of the map.
Yeah, that's very unnecessary.
If he's going Yasha Diffusal, by all means, farm bottom, farm the jungle, go for it, but he's just kind of here, not like...
With this Hood, like, it's very hard for Empire to kill him, so he could be farming in a little bit more precarious.
He
like,
just walked them in.
dangerous
There's no
positions.
threat on him, and he's the top net worth in game, but applying no pressure on the map. This is giving a lot of very valuable space to this Empire
him,
lineup.
Right? Just that gold on him pretty much right now. He's moving towards that diffusal. Once he gets it, he's definitely going to start moving about. There is an ATOS on the OD, so that's another catch for the Storm. That's going to be very helpful. Is the Midas almost completed?
Definitely
This
looking
is
better.
14 minutes in. It's a very, very bad timing for Midas on Arc Warden.
Hey, but it could be significantly worse, all things considered.
Yeah. Definitely. It could have been even worse.
Yeah, what looked like this game did look like if Gambit has a chance to run this back from the start they had, 6 minutes onwards, they could potentially just end this game in a heartbeat. But after a couple of mistakes, Empire's clawed themselves back. They've at the very least got a great fighting shot. They are the team that should have the better opportunities to find pickoffs as we hit the mid to late game. And certainly Storm level 25.
There is a sentry around. Old Duckledge, he should see it. Yep.
Oh, it's not going to be enough. I don't think there's a big team fight coming out. Wyvern ult onto one. It's going to the egg on top. There you go. You're not going to be able to kill this in time. The duel comes off as well. Overlapping the Wyvern ult. Storm's just going to go down. Huge Afo Ninja hammer drop. That's going to ensure the kill on Sayu as well. Venge dead. They might look to chase for more of Madden. He's got a ton of move speed. Probably going to be able to escape here.
He's very fast. He has the drums, the travels. Should be fine. At the same time, Dream has been farming with that Midas completed. So that's the silver lining for Empire. But that team fight right there just demonstrated how strong Gambit is in every aspect of the game if they play properly and to their strengths, if they don't fool around.
Yeah, and not just that, they're playing to the team fight. That's the strength of it. They're 5 heroes. They take that engagement because they know bounty runes are spawning soon. Worst case, you're going to get the 2 dire side. You'll be able to TP bottom shrine, collect that 3.
And remember, that was Empire starting that fight with the Invis rune on the Storm Spirit. They wanted to make stuff happen. Didn't really work out for them.
But you can see like how impossible this game is going to be for Storm. If he catches a Wyvern ult, they have so many stuns to overlap.
Madden?
Oh no, he purged him early. He's going to get the duel off onto the bat, but this could be poor. King R's going to swap forwards. The duel will fade. No more lasso either. Immersion does not have egg, but Afo Ninja is TP'd in. It does look like King R is going to go down. The Atos from Afo Ninja I have not seen that item on that hero for quite some time, but you know, in this scenario, I like it.
Yeah, like it's really good versus the Storm as well. A lot of catch for them that they lack on this team.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Lack of stuns, but great team fight. Just cover your weaknesses.
It's
good Dota.
It's interesting that Bat went for that lasso, seeing the LC right next to him.
Yeah. This is what we're talking about, Gambit. You got to collect this mid tower. Most important objective on the map for the Radiant side. They're going to swarm down there, keep their LC bottom. Even though he's 3 levels behind the Bat, there's really not much you can do to stop him. One of the rare games, I do actually like the phase drums on LC, because you got to just stay strong, be able to stay in lane, because no one else on your squad really wants to be against the Bat Rider. Even the PL, he'd like to get the hell out of that lane, start using that hood diffusal to make some shit happen. Approaching the 17-minute mark.
They're playing, 17-minute mark, and they're playing S5 a lot. That's maybe the one downside of Gambit that I see right now. They are clunked up together. Right now, Phoenix is the only one on the other side of the map, defending that tier 1 on top. The rest of them are trying to push in, but there's a smoke. This is going to be a smoke right here.
Yeah, but it's right on top of an Radiant Observer
wards,
ward. FNG is just going to stand there. Oh my god, he gets the ult off on Storm. Is there going to be a duel to follow? It looks like there will be. OD comes in, the Atos, the duel. Oh, he's missing everything though. What a sick bubble by Dream Darling. It's going to save his Storm. Konos is still alive. He's going to man up. He's going to kill the LC. In the meantime, Afro Ninja, he's going to catch the lasso. He's dead as well. What a play by Empire, although realistically, Gambit may have just not been aware there was a bubble there, because I don't know if they have vision of it when it's placed on the high ground.
Yeah,
they do, right?
They see it.
They had 3 wards too. Like there was just again, where the hell is the PL?
Not only the PL, the Phoenix is on top lane, and you're still deciding to take this fight 4 versus 5.
With vision, you saw them smoke his 5.
You saw them, but they just thought that they had the strength necessary to take them down, and they failed. They didn't read the situation very well. That's what happened. Nothing more, I believe.
It just tail of the tournament, really. Not one single team I can fault more than any other, but just a constant lack of discipline from all teams, just with the lead, then overextending.
Was it only the lack of discipline in this situation? Because they had all the information, so they made a completely conscious decision to go and fight there, right? Yeah, they just got outplayed a little bit, and they overestimated their strength. But the lack of discipline is definitely there. Thinking of Phoenix already, obviously, like he's on top lane and you're deciding to fight without him. So
yeah, and PL's it's just a fight you don't need. I love the idea, like, hey, I know they're smoked. FNG, if you want to go pop a Wyvern ult, they're going to get a dual kill on the Bat Rider here. It does look like there it is, and Kersplat that's plus 30 for Afterlife. But the concern I have is like it's a great play by FNG, right? But he's got to be conscious that, like, look, I can take the little win, okay? It's again, it's a poker term, but good poker players, it's not about how big your wins are. It's how well do you minimize your losses. You cancel a smoke with a Wyvern ult, that's perfectly cool to waste that ability. Get out of dodge. Even if you die, who cares? You're not forcing the poor fight.
I think what he thought is that ult on the Storm is going to be enough for them to lock him down and take him out of the picture instantly. So maybe he got baited a little bit, thinking that they're going to be strong enough after the Storm is eliminated. However, they didn't even manage to kill that Storm because of a really good bubble. And then after everything is said and done, you still have the Vengeful there with a swap that's ready and waiting that can help him out. So.
What a value ward, though. I mean, they didn't utilize the info about that smoke in ideal manner, but it does get them a D ward as well. So they still have total dominance in this right side dire jungle. And you got to question Empire's warding. If you look at it, 2 very deep wards in the Radiant Woods, but when are you ever going to be play around there? You're behind in this game, and you're being shoved at.
I think the ward around the shrine is super necessary versus the Arc Warden as well, as that's the place where he wants to basically lose himself. Just stay there and farm for like 5 minutes until he gets the necessary farm. So denying this triangle around the shrine is super important for Gambit.
Yep. And you can see they know that Empire has no real method of taking Roshan for quite some time, so they're very confident to just continue to play this triple camp. As you said, to deny the Arc Warden his space. Bounty runes completely even in the gold received. That should change as soon as somebody picks up the 1 remaining. Although, sorry, 1 was denied at the 15-minute mark, it does appear. A smoke from the Wyvern Phoenix. They're going to try and place out some wards, it appears.
Is that Arc Warden? Is that the clone or the real one? That should be the clone, right?
That's
oh, that's
the real
one.
He's in some trouble, folks. Dream Darling's going to tank the egg stun for sure. Will it be enough damage is the question. That shrine is nice, but Immersion's got a Spirit Vessel charge. I think he might just be dead on Dream Darling.
Yeah.
And indeed he is.
At the same time, they did take down FO. The Kodos did manage to take down the OD and the Legion Commander on this top lane fight. So a little bit of a trade-off.
But once again, though, where's the Hawk? Why are they making, like, the strongest hero on map, the tankiest hero on the side of Gambit, is continuously playing in the bottom half of the map? Put his ass as deep into the enemy side as you want, play around his movement, but he can't be continuously the only player not involved with an enemy.
What's even more concerning is the fact that I believe he doesn't understand the matchup very well in this particular game. Like, he's an amazing player, don't get me wrong, but specifically in this game, he should be up front. They have no ways of dealing with it.
You can't kill PL unless like you're somehow lassoed in the middle of 4 heroes and they've accomplished the and you're alone. There's so much on your team. Even if you get lassoed, it's purged. Like, it's all about playing around this
there's
PL.
Winter Wyvern, there's OD to save you, there's Phoenix Egg, there's so many things that can be put behind you.
We're criticizing him. We recognize it. He's top. He's like, guys, this is my space now. I'm about to hit level 18. I am owning this game. Let's go do some work. And even though they've made a couple of miscues, Gambit's still up 16-10. They have yet to lose a tower in addition to taking 5 of the enemies.
They're playing super well. We are not denying that. But some of these movements of theirs in which they lose 2 big cores seem very unnecessary, considering how far in front they are and how their lineup works against Empires.
Oh, there we go. A nice DD rune for the PL. That'll make this Roche very simple.
Yeah, considering they don't really have the best team to take Roshan, right? This DD makes it very unexpected as well for Empire, I believe.
It is taking a little bit of time, but the Gambit side will be seeing Empire swarming towards the bottom lane. They know they might lose that tier 1 bottom, but you just don't care. You're going to get the Aegis on PL, walk down the mid lane, potentially even start to threaten tier 3s. You will have the Manta finished in just a couple moments. Still just a 5K lead. You can check out the
There's an
hero
Atos on Batrider, actually. Look at that.
Really?
Yeah, that's not something we see very often. Yes, what do you think about that item? Like, I mean, I like the Atos overall. I like it a lot more on the side of Gambit right now in this game than on the Batrider. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. It's another purgeable.
It's tough.
Spell. Like, it's for who exactly?
It's tough because I get the reasoning. Like, you're lacking disables in a sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. No, I'm trying.
You're trying.
Not a fan.
That's a stretch. That's a huge. You have Storm, Earth Spirit, Vengeful, and the Bat himself with the lasso, and then you go for an Atos as well.
I feel like a BKB would be insane in this game. Like, even if you want to skip the blink, that's fine with me. You've got drums bots.
Listen.
Force staff BKB is nuts.
Use the Atos, force the purge, then use lasso.
But like, that's just not. It's just not a thing.
It's not going to happen.
Not a thing.
It's good plan doesn't work.
You even have a Manta on PL, so it's not as if locking him down pre-doppel is going to be a play.
Immersion with that.
He's got a halberd.
Actually.
That's a great
It's
item.
all right. Yeah, it's all right. This game versus the Storm versus the Arc Warden.
He wants to prevent himself as being a target, and you don't want to go something like Aeon Disc because it just makes you kind of a weakling. Whereas Halberd has that offensive capability, and you have so much.
I think
HP, you just aren't going to die.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Halberd is good on him. Like, in this game, though, like, Yules would be just as good versus the Storm, jumping him versus the silences, right?
I don't know. I like having the raw HP. I like having the evasion, and disarm on Storm on Arc Warden just renders them completely useless for 5 seconds. Like, it's a 5-second disarm.
There we go. Atos.
Coming into play, King R. Adios. It's all about the wards, too. Gambit have so much vision in the enemy jungles all game. They started bottom, now they've moved on to the top side, just constantly sweeping through the woods, keeping Empire locked inside their base.
What? No, King R is just watting the voice lines.
Oh.
What? Yeah, they're just losing these towers, these objectives across the map. There isn't really a whole lot they can really do about it. There's still 3 minutes on Dahak's Aegis.
Yeah, he's got a heart in 1,100 gold. This is Looking very scary for Empire fans. He won't be able to finish it before Aegis, but could theoretically use this time to finish the item and then look to keep battling.
If you're Empire right now, honestly, you've been thinking about the high ground defense for the last 5 minutes at least.
The Atos!
The Atos into what? Well, it was fun. Good Atos, good usage.
4 bounty runes going the way of Gambit. Really well done. They control the map, shove the lanes.
Can they catch the best rider, actually? They do see him on the top lane.
I believe that is an affirmative, my friend. And once again, it looks like it might be free duel damage for Afterlife. He's going to grab it.
Yep. Bing,
A bang, a boom. Another duel victory for the offlane LC. And yep, there you go. Wyvern ulti hit. And here's the PL. This is the best carry for a Wyvern to play around because you pop the ultimate, and then all of a sudden PL runs in and the hero you're targeting is completely out of mana and soon to fall shortly afterwards. 9k gold lead, 19-10. Aegis up for just a couple more moments. Bloodstone Arcane Rune on Kodos, but will it be enough to repel the Gambit lineup as they start to threaten the high ground? We'll find out soon enough.
I mean, Empire, they have been preparing for this high ground for quite a long time now. I believe their whole game plan in this particular match right now is to try and stall the game 4 as long as possible, to try to use those magnetic bubbles, magnetic fields to defend the tier 3s. But
look at the timing. Like, they still have Aegis for a minute and a half, and there's the BKB on Alpha Ninja.
And everything is ready. There's Phoenix Sag. The Winter Wyvern ulti is not there only. But there we go. The nasty bubble defense. It is a little bit hard to deal with if you are Gambit. Like, you can always...
Oh man,
Arcane
I was
Rune.
scared for a second. It looked like Gambit was waiting for the Storm Zip with spells prepared, but...
Arcane Rune plus Kaya, that's basically what's allowing him to do that. So they are delaying it really well, and you can see Arc Warden on the top lane pushing with the clone.
If they don't even have the Earth Spirit back, he's still shoving bottom as well. Oh, wow. Oh, Wyvern ulti. Who'd that hit? Looks like it was on the side. Venge is going to immediately die. They found the Bat Rider. He's going to be Wyvern ulted straight into the duel. He's going to die to the OD. Storm still zipping back and forth, but Arc Warden, he's yet to really engage. There were 3 heroes there. Both Earth Spirit and Arc Warden TP'd back, but they've already lost 2.
I believe what they expected is for Gambit to roll back, but...
Oh, nice glyph. That'll keep the creep wave alive and ensure that Gambit can continue to pressure.
There's no magnetic field right now. Maybe with the clone. Yeah, the clone should have it.
Call.
There's 20 more seconds on that Aegis, so Dahak should be very careful.
Oh my god, the Storm's starting to really... The poke damage is getting quite high.
He's going to die on purpose there. He knows the timer, so he wants to use that Aegis. Storm, however, is zipping through. The Atos.
He's doing a really nice job of ensuring that he's auto-zipping. If he were to zip and then cast again, the cast animation would be plenty of time for him to go down.
They're delaying it really well. You can see that they've saved their tier 3. Not even that tier 3 has fallen, considering how far behind they are, 10k, and the state of the game. It's really good. I understand why those 2 died, though, Vengeful and Batrider. They basically... they thought that Gambit is going to go back and defend these side lanes that were being pushed in. So they tried to set up a move to get in position. Sadly for them, it didn't work.
Alpha Ninja's in some trouble. He gets the offensive Austria. He's got a BKB. He's going to pop an Immersion's here as well. FNG gets the silence, swapped back as well. Empire, you got to take out this Wyvern. You won this fight. Shrine is pop, but Sayu, he's going to go down immediately. Dream Darling out of mana as well. Storm getting some Shrine. The egg goes off. It probably will go off. No one's even trying to hit it. In the meantime, a duel goes out onto the real Arc Warden. Is that a DD? It looks like it is. Afterlife's going to be able to probably get that kill just thanks to it. And yes, the Q-Nuke will finish Storm, however. He's going to clean him up. Alpha Ninja gets the defensive Astral, but now he's in trouble. Is there another swap from King Ari? He's out of range. He's looking to get it. Will he get it? He's going to stun onto the Earth Spirit instead, an Atos, and now a lasso onto the OD. You've got to get this kill, but the PL, Dahak, so deep in the back. Enemy lines completely zoning the rest of Empire's heroes away from the fight, and a nice play by Immersion. Didn't need that last Fire Spirit, but hit it just the same.
Can they take down the territory, though? Storm is still up, so he might... Yeah, he's going to zip in, but can he actually pressure the PL? Not really. You still don't have the Arc Warden for 15 more seconds.
He's very low on mana, but doing a good job to just try and push the envelope, stay alive.
I think Gambit is happy with this. They're going to go back towards the shrines, take down the shrines first.
They got the tier 3 and the buybacks.
Yeah. At least they didn't force the buyback of Arc Warden, which is a silver lining for Empire, as he was able to survive.
And this is the PL we're talking about. There is absolutely nothing Venge can do. He is charged from a screen of distance away, immediately purged, and then when he's doppeled on, there's not a damn thing you can do to try and find the real one. Now, Lincoln's going to be the next item for Kodos, but...
Right. It's not about Kodos, it's about Arc Warden. He has this Mjolnir. He's going to get that Manta soon as well. I still don't consider that to be the point in which you want to be at this stage of the game, obviously.
Yep.
That's the problem. Like, Arcorden is one of those heroes. Like, he has very, very interesting peaks, right? Like, peaks of strength. Like, you can't really... If you miss a minute or two on him, yet alone like 4 to 5 minutes on that Midas that they have missed, like, all of his timings are skewered. And he has to wait a lot longer, and suddenly you find yourself inevitably just defending high ground like they are right now. As he has, what? You had the Maelstrom and Midas. Those two items are basically farming for him. It's Dream.
Some trouble.
Has no mobility here to escape. He's trying to port
TP.
out.
He might, yeah, he's going to blow the Wyvern out. This could be a good fight for Empire, though. They are 5 and prepared. Phoenix is going to be late to this fight. The last one goes off onto the LC. That would be the cleanse as well. Afro Ninja going to BKB, move forwards. A nice swap as well as the bubble, keeping
Dream
him
trying to
alive.
TP out
Another
again.
trying TP from Dota. He will get it off this time. King R will die as a cost.
It's only the vengeful position 5, and the way Empire played that was magnificent. Good for them to rescue that Arc Warden. And if you are Gambit, you have to be feeling really irritated by the fact that he managed to survive the way he did.
Yep. They've already killed the bottom shrine. They'll probably kill this top shrine. Roche has spawned Gambit with the 17k gold lead. Before they broke high ground, it was just 7 or 8. It's just grown so rapidly thanks to their domination of the bounty runes. They're out farming, and really it's just 2 heroes on Empire that have any capability of killing creeps right now. And they're not even going to go for Roche. Gambit just swarming towards the base as the PL finishes the shrine.
Yeah, the Mjolnir is going to help out against the PL, but would you really put that Mjolnir on? Like, who's going to be the one that tanks all that damage? I guess Earth Spirit.
Alright, so like, I was wondering, like, can someone go Sky Roche? They use the courier to do so. FNG is going to make the call. Hello, guys. Let's go Roche. That's a bad FNG accent, but that's what he said.
There's a Butterfly coming up on this Phantom Lancer too. He has the Eagle Song right now, and he's basically 2 items ahead of Arc Warden. You want to be 2 items ahead as Arc Warden right now in this particular matchup.
Yeah.
And when you're behind...
It's because PL's like the perfect example of a hero that scales with damage output along with survivability.
Yes.
And when he's ahead of you and he has a heart and then a butterfly, it feels like you're now you need 2 or 3 items before you can even threaten him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help you stay alive when he goes for you.
Like
Very troubling.
That's basically why Arc Warden is such a strange carry to play, as he does not scale that way. Like, he does not get any survivability with the item that he buys.
Oh no, King R, not like this. Another duel win. I feel like King R has given like at least 40 damage over to this LC so far this game. 19k now the advantage in what was once, what, a 9-6 game? 9-8 is now 28-11. Gambit running rampant over the side of Empire.
There's a clone on this bottom lane. There's actually the real Arc Warden eyeing Afterlife, but there's very little that he can do to him, considering Afterlife has a BKB as well. I think he's just waiting for the clone to be ready. Yeah, waiting for the clone, spawn the clone, get the next creep wave port out. That should be the play, as he has teammates actually rolling in.
And you can see even...
Oh, Shivas is completed.
see,
This is like the gold talents as well, just kicking in for Gambit. You have this gold talent on Phoenix. You have the gold talent on Wyvern as well. Both of these birds have gold talents. They scale really well as supports too. While on the other hand, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
You have Vengeful and Earth Spirit.
Yeah, you have 2 creeps on the side of Empire that are going to provide a couple of stuns.
And you have 2
a swamp,
dragons on the side of Gambit.
Yeah. We've all seen enough Game of Thrones to know how dragons face up against mere mortals. Well, Age is still up for 3.5 minutes. BKB.
Duel.
There's a lot of damage coming out on the LC. Will there be enough to follow up? Will he get the dual damage in time? Just not quite, but they do find that kill. And like, there's so little threat onto this PL that he doesn't even care. He's still just shoving down this mid lane, looking to threaten the racks as ASAP.
It's interesting. 2 of his scores are not there,
Yeah.
and he's still there up in their faces, like right next to their high ground, and he's not afraid. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and you can't clear the illusions anymore.
Now look
They're
at this.
so
He's going
tanky.
in, man. He's going ham. He manned up.
He's going to just continue diving forwards and immersion, like the Shivas, the dive. Like the
Oh, look
Dream
at that
Darling is
Gordon.
actually
He's
dying
dying.
under his T
He's dying to
force.
illusions. He's dead.
He's dead. They're diving the tier 4s. The cleanse comes off onto the Hawk. You actually just cannot deal with this hero anymore. He's going to doppel back. Will he get the egg off on time? Oh, yes,
Yeah,
he
he
will.
does.
Immersion does. Oh, the beautiful Wyvern ulti as well. They're going to go straight for the Storm. He gets swapped, but there's a Hex. There's an Astral on the Venge. The hammer drops. Bat Rider's going to die to Immersion. That's a 5 for 0. Buybacks coming out. Immersion will most likely go down here. He's going to get purged. Still silenced. They perhaps could kill the bird, but there's another one. The duel. It's just not going to be enough.
They're just
Toto's last
trying.
man standing. There's a Bat Rider, but he's got no lasso. Do they have the stuns for this guy? No, just not quite. But Madden now, he's in deep. FNG will get killed. One bird down. The second gets the cleanse. And all of a sudden, PL on top of the bat. The Hex on the Storm. That is going to close things out. A full team wipe
that
once
should be
again
game
for the
right
side
there.
of Gambit.
GG. I mean, we knew what was going to happen from the start of this game. It was very inevitable, like considering how they drafted and how the laning stage have ended. Like after the 7-8 minutes, Empire, they did overestimate their strengths a little bit. They maybe overplayed their hand here and there, but it still was a no contest. Like these heroes, the way they work against Dark Warden is just way too strong. And later on, they had superior team fight, superior laning stage, superior heroes, counter picks. Like.
Yeah, we were playing. Gambit did make some mistakes there throughout the early to mid game, no question about it. But realistically, they won all 3 lanes. They had such a massive advantage that that was really the only way Empire would have any sort of space. This was somewhat interesting. Gambit is going to be our winners here in Group
Even
B.
if they, like, first and foremost, they have counter picks. But secondly, like, you had these cores on the side of Empire that don't synergize very well together. Like, you have the Arc Warden, you have the Storm. Which one of those heroes is going to create space? Like, eventually you have Bloodstone and Kaya on Storm Spirit, but that's eventually. That Arc Warden got the Midas minute 15. You're looking at Midas that should be there minute 7 to 8. You know, that's so late.
If there was ever a game for maybe like an earlier type of build or maybe more of a CC focused, maybe a Necro book early, something. But to just go Midas, Mjolnir bots, like the full split push greed, when you already know this PL is in a game-winning position.
I think he got baited into the Mjolnir Maelstrom because of the PL. It is a very significant item versus him. It does help your team out a lot, but at the same time, the main aspect of that item is that it accelerates your farming speed on the Arc Warden. It's also good versus the egg, so perhaps that's the reason. But overall, I believe the draft was the biggest issue for...
Gambit, I think, while, again, super impressed by Kodos. Feel like he's impressed me most as an individual player so far in this tournament. And, of course, we've seen all 8 teams play so far in this GG.Bet Birmingham Invitational. However, Gambit, very put together. Excellent lineups. The drafting improving as the series goes along. That's going to be it for the day, folks. Group A, Group B, we have our winners. Tomorrow, we're going to have the losers matches, followed up by the deciding matches on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night, and
Bye-bye.